Loneliness has a strange way of showing up. It doesn't always come with silence or empty rooms. Sometimes it sits beside you, even when you are surrounded by people. You laugh, you talk, you post, but deep down it feels like something is missing. Like no one really sees you. No one really understands what's going on inside your head. And that's a heavy feeling to live with. Because it's not just about being alone, it's about feeling unseen, unheard, untouched, even when life keeps moving around you. You start wondering if something is wrong with you, why everyone else seems to have people who care, someone to talk to, someone who checks on them. And you start thinking, maybe it's your fault. Maybe you're just too quiet. Maybe you're just too complicated or even too different. But let me tell you something, and I need you to really hear this. There is nothing wrong with you, and there never was. Loneliness is not a punishment, it's a passage. It's a space life gives you to meet yourself again, and sometimes that's exactly where your soul needs the silence. You see, we live in a world that's too loud, too fast, too focused on being connected online, but never truly present. We scroll for hours, see hundreds of faces every day, and yet the one person we forget to connect with is ourselves. That's where loneliness becomes a teacher. It shows up to remind you, hey, when was the last time you listened to your own thoughts? When was the last time you just sit down in quiet and just let yourself feel without trying to escape? We keep trying to fill the silence with people, with notifications, with noise. But what if that silence isn't empty? What if it's sacred? What if it's the space where God is trying to talk to you? You see, faith isn't only about worship or prayer. Faith is also about trusting that even when you feel forgotten, you are not. There is a reason for this. There is a reason for this season. Every soul goes through a wilderness before it finds peace again. And loneliness is that wilderness. Sometimes I think God removes people from our lives not to hurt us, but to help us see how strong we can be on our own. Because when everyone leaves, you start to realize maybe you were never supposed to depend on them in the first place. Maybe He was trying to show you that your peace was never meant to come from other people. And that's the part most people struggle with. We get attached to people, we build our peace around them. And then when they walk away from us, it feels like we lost a part of ourselves. But the truth is, we didn't lose them. We just lost the version of us that depended on them to feel okay. Loneliness breaks you in ways you never expect, but it also builds you. It forces you to sit with your thoughts, to question, to cry, to heal. It teaches you to find comfort in your own company, something very few people ever learn. And when you learn that, everything changes. You stop chasing people who don't see you. You stop begging for attention from those who never cared in your life. You stop forcing yourself into places that doesn't value your presence. You start moving differently, softer, wiser and calmer, because you finally realize being alone doesn't mean being empty. Let me tell you something I've learned through my own lonely seasons. Sometimes the peace you are praying for won't come from company. It will come from surrender, from accepting that this chapter, the quiet one, the painful one, the lonely one, is not a mistake. It's a preparation. You are being prepared to carry a bigger purpose, to hold a deeper kind of love, to walk a stronger kind of path. And you can't do that surrounded by noise. You need silence for that. You need space to grow roots before you bloom again. So maybe that's why God isolated you. Not because He's punishing you, but because He's protecting you. You can't hear His whispers in chaos. You can't feel His guidance when you are surrounded by distraction. And I was reading this book the other day, and it's called The Mountain Is You by Brianna West. There was a line that stopped me for a moment. She said, your new life is going to cost you your old one. And that hits me, because sometimes that's exactly what loneliness is. It's the price of transformation. It's the space between who you were and who you are becoming. It's uncomfortable, it's confusing, it's quiet, it's sacred, because that's where shading happens. That's where you begin to release everything that no longer fits the person you are growing into. So he removed things, people, situations, he closed doors, he made you sit in rooms that feel too quiet, he made you first nights that feel too long, not because he wanted to break you, but because he wanted to rebuild you. And I know it hurts. I know those nights. You were staring at the ceiling, wondering things will finally make sense. You want connection, you crave it. You just want someone to understand. What if for now that someone is supposed to be you? What if this is the season where you learn how to comfort yourself, how to be your own peace, how to be your own home? Because one day when you do meet the right people, the right friends, the right love, the right community, you will meet them from wholeness, not from emptiness. You will love from peace, not from pain. You will give from overflow, not from lack. That's why loneliness is not your enemy, it's your awakening. This silence that feels unbearable, it's where you are learning how to hear your own voice again. This ache in your chest, it's your heart learning to breathe without needing validation from anyone. This waiting is not wasted time. It's the ground where your future peace is being built. And if you are sitting there thinking, but I can't do this anymore, listen, you can. You've already survived every lonely night you thought would break you, and you are still here, still breathing, still trying. That means you are stronger than you think. The truth about your loneliness is that it's not there to destroy you, it's here to introduce you to you, to remind you of who you are when everything else is gone. And that version of you, the one who stays, the one who grows quietly, that's the one who will change your life forever. So don't rush this season and don't hate it. Let it shape you, let it teach you patience, gratitude, and faith. You might not see it now, but one day you look back and say, that was the moment I finally learned how to be at peace with myself. And when that happens, loneliness won't scare you anymore, because you'll realize you were never truly alone. God was with you and always has been. So breathe. Take it one day at a time. Talk to Him more. Write, walk, take care of your body, rest your mind. You don't have to figure everything out right now. You just need to stay open. Your heart is healing in ways you can't see yet. And soon, this quiet will make sense. You will smile again, not because life got easier, but because you did. So don't run from your own loneliness. Sit with it, hold it like a friend, because sometimes that's where your light begins to grow. If this spoke to your heart right now, don't rush to leave. Stay around. This space is for people who feel deeply, people like you. We talk about healing, faith, peace, and purpose here. So if you ever feel alone again, just come back, play any of my videos, close your eyes and breathe. Don't forget to subscribe, and you will never walk alone here.